Welcome back, everyone. For today's deep dive, you shared some fascinating sources about female gamers. And we'll be looking at whether there's any truth to the stereotype that women are worse at video games than men.
Oh, yeah.
Buckle up, because we're going to explore some surprising research findings and real-life experiences.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible how this myth persists, isn't it? Especially when we have,
Yeah.
like, the research that you sent, it directly contradicts it.
Yeah, so let's jump right in. This research, it observed how men and women progressed in online multiplayer games. And, surprise, surprise, no difference in how quickly they leveled up. No skill gap whatsoever.
Yeah.
But then, if that's the case, why does this stereotype even exist?
Well, it's not like women aren't playing video games, right?
Right.
Data from the Entertainment Software Association, the International Software Federation of Europe, they peg female gamers at around 45% to 47%. And Pew Research actually suggests it's almost a 50-50 split. So clearly, the gaming world isn't the boys' club some people imagine it to be.
So if the numbers are nearly equal, what's going on? Why do we still have this stereotype?
One factor that comes up quite a bit is that a lot of women choose to hide their gender when they're gaming. Think about it. You log into a game hoping to just relax and have fun, but instead you're bombarded with personal questions, unwanted advances, or even threats simply because you're a woman.
Oh, wow.
It can be a very hostile environment, one that pushes many women to stay under the radar.
Yeah, I see. It makes you wonder, does this stereotype persist because women are forced to hide, making their presence less visible? Like a self-fulfilling prophecy almost.
That's a really good point. It's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
This toxic gaming culture discourages women from, participating openly, especially in those competitive scenes. And this lack of visibility feeds right back into those harmful stereotypes.
Right.
Plus, there's still a lingering social stigma. The perception that gaming is unfeminine or only for geeks can make it hard for women to embrace their gamer identity without feeling judged.
Yeah. It's almost like they're expected to feel embarrassed about a hobby they genuinely enjoy.
Yeah.
Which is absurd. I mean, think about the variety we see in the gaming world today. It's not just those hyper-competitive shooters that dominate the conversation.
Right. You're totally right.
So,
And that actually brings up a really interesting point. The research you sent included an account from a woman who describes her preference for games that have strong narratives, creative elements, or appealing aesthetics.
yeah.
She actually calls them more brainy games.
Oh, interesting. So that really highlights the diversity, right? That women's preferences are just as varied as men's. And it's important to remember that gaming, it can offer benefits too.
Oh, yeah.
It's not all about escapism and entertainment.
Of course. Gaming can be a fantastic way to improve social skills, especially, for those who might find real-life interaction challenging.
Yeah.
It provides a safe space to practice, build confidence, and connect with others who share similar interests.
So it's almost like a stepping stone to real-world interaction for some.
Yeah.
And we can't forget, of course, the stress relief, the mood boost that gaming can provide. It can be a healthy way to unwind and escape from the pressures of everyday life. But like anything, it's all about balance.
Exactly. It's important to acknowledge that excessive gaming can become problematic.
Yeah.
It can strain relationships, interfere with responsibilities, and can even lead to addiction. And for women, who already face such unique pressures in the gaming world, finding that balance can be even trickier.
I can imagine.
But, despite all of the challenges, your sources do paint a hopeful picture for the future of female gamers. There's this growing movement of women who are passionate about gaming, and they're demanding more inclusivity in the community,
Yeah.
They're pushing for a space where they can game without fear of harassment, judgment, or having their skills constantly underestimated. It's pretty inspiring, don't you think?
Yeah, incredibly inspiring. And it's not just about creating safer spaces, right?
Yeah.
It's about celebrating the unique contributions women bring to gaming.
Oh, for sure.
Having that diversity in perspectives and play styles, it enriches the experience for everyone.
Totally, yeah. And, one of the most fascinating concepts I came across in your research was this idea of game transfer phenomenon.
Game transfer phenomenon. Okay, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah.
But remind me, what is that?
It refers to how deeply people can become immersed in, game environments to the point where it starts to influence their thoughts, their feelings, and even their actions outside of the game.
Oh, wow.
Imagine spending hours in a racing game, And then, finding yourself instinctively wanting to take corners a little faster in your real car.
Mm.
Or, after playing a complex strategy game, you start analyzing everyday situations as part of some grand calculated scheme,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Oh, I've definitely been there.
Yeah.
But how does this relate specifically to female gamers?
Well, research suggests that this phenomenon can be particularly powerful for women, especially those who might use gaming as a coping mechanism or to escape from difficult emotions or experiences.
Yeah.
They find a sense of control and accomplishment in the virtual world that they might be lacking in their real lives.
It's like finding solace and agency in the virtual world, which can be a good thing, right? But as you mentioned before, there's a potential downside to this.
Right, exactly. While it can be incredibly beneficial for stress relief and escaping reality, if someone becomes overly reliant on the virtual world to cope with their problems, it can actually hinder their ability to deal with those issues in real life.
So, like many things, finding that balance is crucial.
Exactly.
Enjoying the benefits of gaming without letting it consume your life.
Right, right. And that's where, fostering a sense of community and belonging within the gaming world that really comes into play. It's about ensuring that women feel welcome, supported, and valued for who they are and how they play.
Creating a space where they can connect with others, share their experiences, and find support for maintaining healthy gaming habits.
Yes, you got it. And research even suggests that being a part of a supportive gaming community can act as a protective factor against problematic gaming behavior.
Because it's like having that network of friends who understand your passion and can offer encouragement and perspective.
Right, yeah.
But how do we create these more inclusive gaming communities in the first place? Where do we even begin?
That's the big question, isn't it? I think it starts with awareness. We need to call out those harmful stereotypes, challenge that toxic behavior, and just promote a culture of respect and empathy. Celebrating the diversity within the gaming world, making sure that women's voices are heard, their stories are shared, and their contributions are recognized.
It's about leveling the playing field in every sense of the word. And speaking of leveling the playing field, one of your sources actually mentioned that female gamers might have unique advantages in certain types of games.
Oh, yeah.
Can you talk a bit more about that?
Yeah, for sure. It goes back to the different motivations women often have for gaming. Research indicates that women tend to be drawn to games with strong narratives, complex characters, and engaging storylines. They're seeking an immersive experience that goes beyond just, racking up points or winning battles.
Now, they're looking for a richer, a more emotionally engaging experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes sense, considering all the research we've just discussed.
Totally, yeah. And this often leads to, a deeper understanding of the game's lore, the characters' motivations, the nuances of the plot. It's almost like they're playing on a different level, tapping into a level of emotional intelligence and empathy that can give them an edge in games that require strategic thinking, problem solving, and social interaction.
So their strengths actually lie in areas that traditional gaming culture often overlooks.
Right.
It's not just about physical dexterity or reaction time. It's about using your brain power, your intuition, and your emotional intelligence to outwit your opponents.
Yeah, you put it perfectly. This is something the gaming world really needs to recognize and embrace. Different strengths, different approaches can all contribute to success in gaming.
Exactly. By valuing diversity, by valuing inclusivity, we're not only creating a more welcoming environment, but we're also unlocking the full potential of the gaming community.
Right.
It's a win-win for everyone involved.
It is. And it's, it's crucial to remember that these are generalizations. There will always be exceptions. We're not suggesting that all women are amazing storytellers or master strategists or that all men are obsessed with shooters.
Right. It's about recognizing that stereotypes exist, but they don't define individuals.
Exactly. In the end, the best gamers are those who are, passionate, dedicated, and willing to put in the time and the effort to hone your skills, regardless of gender.
And one of the things that truly excites me about the future of gaming is that we're seeing more and more women breaking down these barriers and achieving incredible things in the competitive scene.
Oh, yeah. It's incredibly inspiring, isn't it?
It's so inspiring. We're witnessing a real shift in the landscape. The gaming world is finally waking up to the fact that women aren't just a valuable part of the audience, but a driving force behind the industry's growth and evolution.
Yeah, yeah.
And that brings us back to a point we touched on earlier about how women often resort to using male avatars or neutral usernames to avoid harassment.
Right.
It really speaks volumes about the toxic environment many still face online.
It's a sad reality, you know. They're forced to hide who they are just to enjoy a game without being subjected to unwanted attention or abuse.
And it's not just the overt harassment like the insults or threats. It can be more subtle forms of discrimination, too.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like, imagine you're playing a team-based game and your male teammates automatically assume that you're less skilled or experienced simply because you're a woman.
Right.
You know, they might not give you clear instructions, they might not pass you the ball, or they might even blame you for their own mistakes.
They might even question your every move, second-guess your decisions, or undermine your authority within the team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This implicit bias can be, it can be insidious and incredibly demoralizing. It makes you feel like you don't belong, like you're not good enough.
Right.
And it can even make you question your own abilities.
Yeah, no wonder so many women choose to stay out of the competitive scene altogether.
Right. It's a genuine loss for the community.
Yeah.
We miss out on so much talent and potential. And ironically, research has shown that having women on a team can actually improve performance.
Yeah, that's right. Studies have found that diverse teams are often more creative, innovative, and effective at problem solving. So it's not just about fairness and inclusivity, it's about maximizing the potential of the team as a whole.
You're exactly right. And this is a message that needs to be, amplified within the gaming community.
Yeah.
Diversity isn't just a feel-good ideal, it's a strategic advantage. It's about creating a win-win for everyone.
And one of your sources brought up how the portrayal of female characters in video games can actually contribute to these stereotypes and biases.
Oh, right.
It mentioned something called the Lara Croft effect.
Oh, yeah. Lara Croft, this iconic video game character from the 90s, a strong and adventurous archaeologist who battled villains and solved puzzles in exotic locations. It was a real breakthrough for female representation in gaming.
I loved those games. She was such a badass.
Yeah.
But there was a particular aspect to her portrayal that became somewhat problematic, right?
Well, while Lara Croft was undoubtedly strong and capable, she was also hypersexualized. Her outfit, well, let's just say it left little to the imagination.
And sadly, this hypersexualization of female characters has kind of become a trend in the gaming industry. It's almost like they're trying to cater to a male gaze by, objectifying and dehumanizing women.
Right. And that sends a really harmful message that a woman's value is primarily based on her appearance and sexuality rather than her intelligence, her skills, or her personality.
Yeah, and it reinforces the stereotype that gaming is a boys' club, where women are either objects to be ogled at or prizes to be won. And that's incredibly alienating for female gamers who are trying to find characters they can relate to and identify with.
You nailed it. It's like they're being told that they don't belong in this world unless they conform to these, narrow and unrealistic beauty and femininity standards. We need to push back against these harmful representations and demand more diverse and realistic portrayals of women in video games, Yeah.
We need characters who are strong, intelligent, but also flawed and relatable.
Characters who are defined by their actions and choices, not just by their bodies or their outfits. And we need more women behind the scenes too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
The writers, the designers, the developers who can contribute their unique perspectives and experiences to the creation of these characters and these stories.
Yes.
Because representation matters.
It does.
It shapes how we see the world, how we see ourselves, and how we see each other.
Absolutely. And in gaming, where the lines between reality and fantasy are often blurred, having positive and diverse representations of women is even more crucial.
And speaking of representation, there's another aspect of the Lara Croft effect. It's called female gamer identity threat.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell me what that is?
So it's the idea that when female gamers are constantly bombarded with these hypersexualized images of women in games, it can make them feel, less confident and less capable. It's like they internalize these negative stereotypes and start to doubt their own skills and abilities.
It's that self-fulfilling prophecy thing, right? If you're constantly told you're not as good as the guys,
Yeah.
you're more likely to believe it and then perform accordingly.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And this highlights the importance of, challenging these stereotypes and creating a more supportive and inclusive environment for female gamers.
Yeah.
A space where they can, feel confident, empowered, and free to express their passion for gaming without fear of judgment or harassment. And it's not just about, protecting women from negativity. It's about celebrating their unique contributions to the gaming world.
Because women bring a lot to the table, right?
Yeah.
They're not just passive consumers. They're active creators, innovators.
Oh, absolutely. We're seeing more and more women developing games, designing characters, writing storylines, and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in gaming. Yeah, their work is often incredibly creative, thought-provoking, and emotionally resonant.
Yeah. They're not afraid to experiment, to take risks, and to challenge the status quo.
And they're inspiring a whole new generation of female gamers who are eager to make their mark on the industry.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's an exciting time to be a female gamer. And one of the things that struck me in the research was how some women describe gaming as a form of self-discovery.
Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more about that.
They talked about how gaming allowed them to, explore different aspects of their personalities, try on, different identities, and step outside their comfort zones.
So it's like a virtual playground where they can experiment with who they are and who they want to be, free from the constraints of the real world.
Precisely. And it can be, incredibly empowering, especially for women who might feel limited by, societal expectations or gender roles.
Mm-hmm.
It's a space where they can break free from those limitations and discover their true potential. And that can have a profound impact on their self-esteem, their confidence, their overall well-being.
They're leveling up in real life as well as in the game.
I love that. I love that analogy.
Huh.
It perfectly captures the transformative potential of gaming. And it reminds us that gaming isn't just a frivolous pastime, It can be a tool for self-improvement, self-expression, and even social change.
And speaking of which, one of the things that really excites me about the future of gaming is that we're seeing more and more games specifically designed to appeal to a female audience.
Yes. Games that focus on strong female characters, games that explore complex social issues, games that encourage creativity and collaboration, and games that prioritize narrative and emotional depth over violence and competition.
It's like the industry is finally recognizing that women are not a monolithic group with a single set of preferences.
Right. There's as much diversity within the female gaming community as there is within the male gaming community.
Yeah.
And by creating games that cater to these diverse interests and needs, we're not only expanding the market, but we're also creating a more inclusive and welcoming environment for everyone.
It's about giving women more choices, opportunities, and agency within the gaming world.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's about acknowledging that women are not just valuable consumers. They're also, valuable creators and innovators, shaping the future of the industry.
Absolutely. One point that was repeatedly emphasized in the research is that the gaming industry needs to do more to address the problem of online harassment.
Right.
It's a critical issue that needs to be tackled head on.
I couldn't agree more. It's not just about creating safer spaces. It's about, holding perpetrators accountable for their actions.
There needs to be a zero-tolerance policy for harassment, abuse, and discrimination of any kind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that means implementing effective reporting mechanisms, enforcing clear consequences for violations, and fostering a culture of respect and empathy within the gaming community.
It also means educating gamers about the impact of their words and actions and encouraging them to be allies and advocates for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone deserves to feel safe and respected while gaming, regardless of their gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or skill level.
Absolutely. We need to build a gaming community that reflects the diversity and values of the real world. A community that is welcoming, inclusive, and supportive of everyone who wants to participate.
And a community where everyone can level up.
Yes.
Both literally and figuratively.
I love that.
Well, it's been an incredibly insightful journey exploring the world of female gamers. We've unpacked those persistent stereotypes and shed light on the complexities and nuances of their experiences.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure delving into this topic with you, and I hope this deep dive has sparked some new thoughts and perspectives for our listeners.
As we wrap up this first part of our deep dive, we want to leave you with a final thought.
Yeah.
The future of gaming is in our hands. It's up to all of us, the players, the developers, and the industry leaders, to to create a gaming world that is inclusive, equitable, and welcoming to everyone.
Absolutely.
So let's challenge those outdated stereotypes, support and celebrate female gamers, and work together to build a brighter future for gaming.
Yeah, a future where everyone can level up, not just in the games we play, but in the world we create together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is fascinating how these seemingly small things like representation in games can have such a huge impact on people's perceptions and their actual lived experiences.
It makes you realize how much work still needs to be done to really challenge those deep-seated biases and create a truly equitable gaming landscape for everyone.
We talked about the gaming industry starting to recognize this need for change. What are some of the ways they're actively addressing online harassment?
We're seeing a much more proactive approach from gaming companies.
Yeah.
They're implementing stricter reporting mechanisms where players can easily flag instances of harassment, abuse, or just toxic behavior in chat logs or in-game communications.
Okay, yeah.
And they're backing that up with clearer consequences for those who violate the community guidelines, whether it's temporary suspensions, permanent bans, or even legal action in really extreme cases.
Those are definitely steps in the right direction. But it's not just about punishment, is it? It's also about, fostering a culture of respect and understanding within the gaming community itself. Oh, exactly. And many companies are investing in educational initiatives that promote positive online interactions. They're creating resources that educate players
Yeah.
about the impact of their words and their actions, encouraging, empathy and discouraging toxic behavior. Some are even integrating these concepts directly into the game design, rewarding, positive interactions and discouraging negative ones.
It's encouraging to see these efforts to address the root of the problem.
Yeah.
But how effective are they actually in changing the culture of online gaming?
It's still a work in progress, but there are some promising signs. Studies have shown that when gaming communities actively promote positive behavior and enforce clear consequences for negative behavior, it can actually lead to a decrease in harassment and an increase in player satisfaction.
Right.
It's about creating this collective sense of responsibility for fostering a healthy and inclusive environment.
And that sense of responsibility needs to extend beyond the gaming companies themselves, right? Players need to step up and be allies for each other.
Oh, absolutely. It's not enough to simply refrain from engaging in toxic behavior. Players need to, actively challenge it and report it when they see it happening by speaking out against harassment and supporting those who are targeted. We can help create a culture where such behavior is no longer tolerated.
Speaking of supporting those who are targeted,
Yeah.
one of the sources you shared highlighted the importance of mental health resources for female gamers who have experienced online harassment.
Yeah, that's a really crucial aspect that often gets overlooked. Online harassment can have a profound impact on mental health, leading to anxiety, depression, and even, post-traumatic stress disorder in some cases.
Yeah.
Gaming companies and communities really need to provide resources and support systems to help those who are struggling cope with these experiences.
That could involve, partnering with mental health organizations, offering in-game counseling services, or creating, dedicated support groups where players can connect with others who've been through similar experiences.
Exactly. It's about acknowledging the real world consequences of online harassment and taking proactive steps to mitigate its impact on players' mental health.
Well, it's really encouraging to see the industry taking these issues more seriously.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears a bit and delve into some of the exciting advancements being made in terms of game design and the increasing variety of games that are specifically designed to appeal to a female audience.
Yeah. There's been such a noticeable shift in recent years. Game developers are moving away from the traditional male-centric narratives and stereotypical portrayals of women in games, where we're seeing this surge in games that feature, strong, complex, relatable female characters who are, driven by their own motivations and their own ambitions.
It's no longer just about rescuing the princess or being
Yeah.
the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Right? Female characters are taking center stage, leading the charge, and showcasing their intelligence, strength, and resilience.
Exactly. And it's not just about the characters themselves. It's about the types of stories being told.
Hmm.
We're seeing more games that explore themes of female empowerment, social justice, personal growth,
Hmm.
you know, tackling complex issues that resonate with a much wider audience.
Yeah, these games offer diverse perspectives and narratives that challenge traditional gender roles and stereotypes and provide players with more nuanced and thought-provoking experiences.
Yeah. And it's not just about serious or dramatic narratives either. There's
Right.
also this growing trend of casual and indie games that cater to a variety of interests from fashion and design to cooking and gardening.
Oh, why?
These games offer, relaxing creative outlets that appeal to a wide range of players, regardless of gender.
It's about recognizing that women have, diverse interests and preferences when it comes to gaming, just like anyone else. And the industry is finally starting to catch up.
Absolutely. We're seeing this move away from the one-size-fits-all approach to game design and a greater emphasis on creating, experiences that cater to a wider spectrum of tastes and preferences.
This shift in the industry is also reflected in the increasing number of women who are entering the field of game development.
Oh, absolutely. We're seeing more and more women pursuing careers as game designers, programmers, artists, writers,
Yeah,
bringing their unique perspectives and experiences to the table.
yeah.
And their contributions are leading to, more diverse and innovative game experiences for everyone.
It's a virtuous cycle, isn't it?
Mm.
The more women we have in the industry, the more diverse and inclusive the games become, which in turn attracts an even wider audience.
Mm. Exactly. And it's not just about, filling quotas or ticking boxes. It's about recognizing the immense talent and creativity that women bring to the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Their contributions are shaping the future of gaming,
Yeah.
leading to more engaging, thought-provoking, and socially conscious experiences.
It's an exciting time to be a part of the gaming world, both as a player and as a creator, and it's really inspiring to see how the industry is evolving to become more inclusive and representative of the diverse world we live in.
But I couldn't agree more. And, one of the most exciting developments in recent years has been the rise of esports and the
Yeah.
increasing number of women who are competing at the highest levels.
It's fantastic to see women breaking down barriers and challenging this traditional notion of what it means to be a professional gamer.
Right.
Yeah.
They're proving that skill and dedication, no gender, and they're inspiring a whole new generation of female gamers to pursue their dreams.
And it's not just about individual achievements. It's about creating a more level playing field for women in esports.
Oh, for sure.
We're seeing more organizations and initiatives dedicated to supporting female esports athletes, providing them with the resources and opportunities they need to succeed.
Exactly. From dedicated training programs to mentorship opportunities to scholarship funds, there's this growing ecosystem designed to foster the next generation of female esports stars.
And that support is so crucial.
It
It's
is.
it's not just about raw talent, right? It's about creating an environment where women feel empowered to compete and excel, free from the biases and stereotypes that have traditionally held them back.
It's about leveling the playing field, and ensuring that women have equal opportunities to showcase their skills and achieve their full potential in the world of esports.
And their success is inspiring a whole new generation of female gamers to embrace their competitive spirit and pursue their dreams of becoming professional esports athletes.
Absolutely. It's a testament to the power of representation and the impact it can have on breaking down, barriers and expanding possibilities when young girls see women, competing and winning at the highest levels of esports. It sends this really powerful message that they too can, achieve anything they set their minds to.
And that's a message that resonates far beyond the world of gaming.
Mhm.
It's a message of empowerment, equality, and the limitless potential that exists within each and every one of us.
Well said, yeah. And one of the things that I find truly remarkable about the gaming community is its ability to, bring people together from all walks of life.
It's a global phenomenon that transcends geographical boundaries, cultural differences, even language barriers.
Yeah. And it's this powerful force for creating, connections, fostering friendships, and building communities.
Yeah.
We see players from all over the world connecting, online, sharing their passion for gaming and forming these lasting bonds.
It's incredible to witness that sense of camaraderie and shared experience that gaming can create.
Absolutely. And it's particularly heartwarming to see the support and encouragement that female gamers offer each other, both online and offline. They're
Yeah.
they're creating spaces where they can, connect, share their experiences and celebrate their love for gaming.
And those communities provide a sense of belonging and validation, especially for those who have, faced negativity or exclusion in other gaming spaces.
Exactly. It's about creating a safe and supportive environment where women can feel comfortable being themselves and expressing their passion for gaming without fear of judgment or harassment. And these communities are not just about, social interaction. They're also about, empowerment and mentorship. Experienced female gamers are sharing their knowledge and skills with newcomers, helping them, navigate the often challenging world of online gaming.
It's a beautiful example of women supporting women, lift each other up, and paving the way for future generations of female gamers.
And it's a testament to the power of community and the positive impact it can have on individuals and the gaming industry as a whole.
It's fascinating to consider the evolution of the female gamer experience. It wasn't that long ago that women in gaming were often, stereotyped as casual players who only enjoyed, certain genres. But the reality is that women have always been passionate and dedicated gamers, engaging with a wide variety of games and contributing immensely to the gaming community.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the perception of female gamers is finally catching up with reality.
Yeah.
We're seeing this growing recognition of their skills, their passion, and their vital role in shaping the future of the gaming industry.
And it's not just about playing games, right?
Right,
It's
yeah.
it's about creating them, designing them, writing about them, streaming them, and competing in them.
Well, women are making their mark in every aspect of the gaming world, and their contributions are leading to more, diverse, innovative, and engaging experiences for everyone.
It's an exciting time to be a part of the gaming community, and it's inspiring to witness the progress that's being made toward creating a more inclusive and equitable space for all gamers.
I couldn't agree more. And one of the things that gives me the most hope for the future of gaming is the passion and dedication of the female gamers themselves.
Yeah, they're not just playing games; they're challenging stereotypes, breaking down barriers, and advocating for a better future for themselves and for future generations of female gamers.
They're demanding to be seen, to be heard, and to be respected as equal members of the gaming community.
And their voices are being heard. We're seeing a shift in the industry, a growing recognition of the need for change and a commitment to creating a more inclusive and welcoming space for all gamers.
It's a slow but steady progress, and it's driven by the tireless efforts of female gamers who are refusing to be, silenced or marginalized.
Yeah, their stories are so inspiring, their contributions are invaluable, and their passion for gaming is undeniable.
And together, they're shaping the future of gaming, creating a world where everyone can, feel welcome, respected, and empowered to play.
It's a vision of the future that's worth fighting for. A
Yeah.
future where gaming truly becomes a universal language that unites us all, regardless of gender, background, or beliefs.
It's a future where the virtual worlds we create, reflect the best of humanity, where collaboration and empathy triumph over competition and toxicity.
And it's a future that's within our reach if we all work together, right? To challenge the status quo
Yeah.
and advocate for a more inclusive, equitable gaming landscape.
Absolutely.
Speaking of challenging the status quo, one of your sources delved into this fascinating topic of how artificial intelligence is being used to combat online harassment in gaming. Oh, that's right. I remember reading about that. How exactly is AI being implemented to address this issue?
Well, it's still a relatively new field, but AI is being utilized in several promising ways. For instance, some gaming companies are developing AI-powered moderation tools that can automatically detect and flag instances of hate speech, harassment, and toxic behavior in chat logs and in-game communications.
So these AI tools act as a sort of digital watchdog, monitoring the online interactions between players and flagging any instances of inappropriate behavior.
Exactly. They can analyze text and voice communications in real time, identify patterns of abuse, and alert human moderators to take appropriate action. And this can help to create a safer and more welcoming environment for everyone, especially for those who are often targeted by harassers.
That sounds incredibly efficient. But can AI really truly understand the nuances of human language and accurately distinguish between, harmless banter and genuine harassment?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest challenges in developing these AI tools. Human language is incredibly complex, and it can be difficult for machines to really grasp the subtle nuances of context, intent, and humor.
Yeah.
But the technology is rapidly advancing. Researchers are training, AI algorithms on massive data sets of text and voice communications, teaching them to recognize patterns of abuse and to differentiate between, genuine harassment and just, playful trash talk.
So the more data these AI systems are exposed to, the better they become at understanding the complexities of human communication and accurately identifying, instances of harassment.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
it's this continuous learning process, and the accuracy of these AI tools is improving all the time. Of course, it's important to note that AI is not a silver bullet solution.
Right.
It's a tool that can assist human moderators, but it shouldn't be seen as a replacement for human judgment and intervention. There will always be situations that require, a human touch where empathy, understanding, and context are crucial.
Yeah. It's fascinating to see how technology is being used to address such a complex social issue.
Yeah.
But it's also a reminder that technology alone can't solve the problem. We need a multifaceted approach that involves, education, community building, and a collective commitment to creating a more inclusive and respectful gaming culture.
I completely agree. It's about fostering this sense of shared responsibility for creating a positive and welcoming online environment where everyone feels safe and respected,
Mm.
regardless of their gender, their background, or their beliefs.
And that brings us to a really interesting point that was raised in one of your sources. It,
Yeah.
it talked about the importance of diversity in game development teams as a key to creating more inclusive and representative games.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's a crucial point. When game development teams are composed of individuals from diverse backgrounds, with different perspectives, experiences, identities, it leads to more, nuanced, authentic, and engaging game experiences for everyone.
Because when you have a team of people who represent the diversity of the gaming audience, they're more likely to create games that resonate with a wider range of players and that challenge, traditional stereotypes and biases.
Exactly, yeah. For example, if you have more, women on development teams, you're more likely to see, games that feature, strong, complex, relatable female characters who are, not simply reduced to cliches or stereotypes. You're also more likely to see, games that explore a wider range of themes and narratives that appeal to a more diverse audience.
It's about moving beyond the traditional male-centric narratives and
Yeah.
expanding the possibilities of what games can be.
Exactly. And it's not just about gender diversity. It's about embracing diversity in all its forms.
Right.
Racial diversity, cultural diversity, LGBTQ plus representation, disability representation. All of these perspectives, they enrich the creative process and lead to more inclusive and representative game experiences.
It's about creating virtual worlds that reflect the richness and the complexity of the real world, where
Yeah.
where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued.
Exactly. Yeah. And when when we, create games that are truly inclusive, we create a more welcoming and engaging experience for everyone, because
Yeah.
ultimately gaming is about connection, community, and shared experiences.
It's about bringing people together regardless of their backgrounds, their beliefs, their identities,
Right.
and creating a space where everyone can feel like they belong.
And that's a mission worth striving for.
I couldn't agree more. Well, it's been an incredibly insightful journey exploring the world of female gamers, unpacking those persistent stereotypes, and shedding light on the complexities and nuances of their experiences.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure delving into this topic with you, and I hope this deep dive has sparked some new thoughts and perspectives for our listeners.
As we wrap up this episode, we want to leave you with a final thought.
Mhm.
The future of gaming is in our hands. It's up to all of us, the players, the developers, and the industry leaders to create a gaming world that is inclusive, equitable, and welcoming to everyone.
Yeah.
So let's challenge those outdated stereotypes, support and celebrate female gamers, and work together to build a brighter future for gaming.
Yeah, a future where everyone can level up, not just in the games we play, but in the world we create together.